So let's go outside a moment. You think by taking all that money, billions of dollars, which doesn't exist, it's just numbers on a particular computer, is going to cure the economy? Who's going to cure the economy? You and I, self-centered, because we understand and they don't. They're going to throw bad money after bad money. The only way we'll ever get rid of all this nonsense outside or evil outside is by understanding that our heart is in the wrong place. It is far too big for its own britches, and it must shrink in size so it can fit in the center field, better known as the medium steinum. And until that is done, with at least a dozen of us, then there is no cure. But, as I was told, oh, I do get some good news, it's not in the archives of life not to let it happen. It will happen. So remember, with God, all things are possible. So another thing, schools today are in their worst financial situation ever, even though it costs more today than it ever did. Why? They're teaching what? What they want these kids to know. But when it is written in our hearts and we hear the Spirit, we don't need to be taught any longer. We know. We know. And the good will prevail over the evil. It must. For God is perfect, and that's from where we come. And I think I've given you enough for tonight.
Anyone
If
like?
you haven't thought so, I'll like to know why.
Anyone like to ask Pasquale anything? Tom.
If the economy is bad,
If the economy is bad,
does that mean the law of the house is bad?
does that mean the law of the house is bad?
Yeah, it's evil. A den of thieves, didn't they do exactly what the thieves would do? They sold these people homes at a very low interest rate, but these people are uneducated enough to read what the hell they're signing, and they can always, what do they call this kind of mortgage? You can increase the rate, and that's what they did. The house of thieves.
Anyone else? Tori?
Can you explain the, like when you talk about clover, it sounds positive, like but a cloved hoof? I thought that was evil. Is that evil?
You were talking about clover,
Yeah.
and she was mentioning that a cloved hoof is something that is evil.
A clover's evil?
No, a clove, C-L-O-V-E-D, cloved hoof.
A club. But I wasn't speaking of clubs.
No, with the C, cloved, like a cloved hook from the Bible.
Yeah. That's,
A cloven hoof, rather. I said it wrong.
well, Maybe you got something I don't understand yet. So work on it and let me know about it.
How are we gonna improve our genitalia?
He's excited. He wants to know, how are we going to improve our genitalia?
You want to know the truth? In order for a male to get an erection, what must take place?
Blood.
But when there's no blood there now, because that's evil, what will take place?
Milk.
Milk.
Now you have a bladder, hot water bag. You put water in it, right?
Yeah.
Now you have another bladder, and you want to inflate it. What do you put in there?
Air.
Air.
That's right. Air. Air.
Yeah.
A-I-R. Air.
Pneumatic.
Joe.
Just be sure you don't puncture it, you get a flat tire. He's a wise guy, I give him a wise.
I know he hears you, that's all.
This is going on the internet, man.
Joe, go ahead.
In a lot of the religions, they talk about the priests have to be celibate or the friars have to be celibate. Is sex evil, or why is that?
You have religions where they don't let the priest have sex. They have to be celibate. And he's asking, is sex evil?
But being celibate?
Celibate. Like the priests have to be celibate.
Yeah. Well, you go through, the original people will have to go through that stage, celibacy. Yeah. Because there's a whole big story here which I don't have. I have, but I'm not giving it tonight. I'm just giving you some things it's for lay people to know and some things aren't.
Pasquale, you said that about the 3-leaf clover is good and the 4-leaf clover is bad.
It brings the evil on
Why is that?
because you have winter.
That's what I said. All right. Anyone else? Senora.
See how easy it is?
See.
You look for hard things.
All right.
Is when he was talking about listening and hearing, is that equivalent to like looking for and receiving?
All right. He said how when you were talking about listening, to listen and, or to hear, is that the same as, say it again, looking?
Looking for or receiving?
Is that the same as looking for or receiving something? Is that an analogy to that, or?
When you listen, you're lopsided, you're not aligned. So how can you actually, shall I say, hear things when you're listening? Because we are lopsided. This is why in the zodiac you have what they call the epigee and a perigee. The epigee is further away from the center, and the perigee is nearer. But what's the opposite of dead? Come on.
Live.
Alive.
Life center. You got it? And dead means black.
Tom.
Black hole that they see in space.
All right, Tom.
In the past, you talked about the blood and said that the blood was dirty. It had all kinds of crap in
It
it.
is.
And you said that in the future, the blood would be replaced by milk, as in the land of
That's
milk
what I
and honey.
said. For Christ's sakes, in plain English, don't I always tell you, put it on what?
Put it on.
Hold.
Put it on
Until I get better. I got better today, so accept it.
So now we're air.
Eh.
Fine.
Okay? All right? Thank you.